Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something I think a lot of us have seen, especially in corporate learning. How do you keep training engaging and effective and, personalized when things change so fast, especially in demanding areas like IT? For this deep dive, we're looking at a really interesting paper. It's called Optimizing Corporate Trainings by Leveraging Agentic AI and Diverse Personas. It's from the International Journal for Multidisciplinary Research, the IJFMR. And the authors, Hemant Tail, Satwik PM, and Ashish Rawat, are from KPIT Technologies. So our mission today is to unpack what this paper is saying, how AI, specifically this agentic AI, working with learner personas, could maybe, revolutionize how training gets made. They talk about AI as a co-developer. That's the intriguing part.
Right. And that term co-developer really hits on why this is so relevant now. The paper points this out. Industries like corporate IT, they're under constant pressure. Tech moves incredibly fast. And the old ways of building training, they could be really slow.
Yeah, time-consuming.
Exactly. And you often end up with this one-size-fits-all approach, which just doesn't cut it when you need to train everyone from a new joiner to, a senior expert. So the paper zooms in on agentic AI, which, put simply, is AI that's a bit more autonomous. It can make some decisions, collaborate. It's not just following basic instructions. And this deep dive really is about exploring how that capability, when you combine it with truly understanding different types of learners, could genuinely reshape L&D development.
Okay, let's dig into that. Before we fully get into the co-developer angle, the paper sets up some basics. How do they actually define this agentic AI and these personas specifically for training development?
Yeah, good starting point. So agentic AI, in their terms, means AI systems that can make decisions, solve problems, and, crucially, do it collaboratively.
Yeah.
For training, this isn't just, say, AI writing some text. It's more about AI assisting with automating parts of the actual development workflow.
Like what kind of parts?
Things like drafting initial content outlines, maybe generating assessment questions, or even helping to give feedback, that kind of thing.
Okay. And the personas.
Right, personas. If you work in L&D, you probably do this already, maybe informally. Thinking about different learner groups.
Yeah, like by job role or experience.
Exactly. Or maybe how they prefer to learn. The paper formalizes this idea. These personas are archetypes, capturing those specific characteristics. The real power, though, comes when you use AI together with these personas. That's how you start to customize content effectively, make it feel relevant, make it stick.
Okay, that's where it starts getting really interesting for me, this idea of AI as a co-developer. Picking up on what you just said, it sounds like more than just a fancy automation tool. What does it actually look like? How does it work in practice, according to the paper?
Well, this is sort of the core vision they lay out. They see these AI co-developers working right alongside human instructional designers, human trainers. It's not about replacement.
More like an assistant.
A very smart assistant, yes. Think of it handling some of the grunt work, maybe, or the data-heavy tasks. So the AI could look at the learning goals, look at a specific learner persona, and then maybe suggest or even draft some initial content ideas there.
Draft content, wow.
Or propose different types of quizzes or activities that would suit that persona's role or current skill level.
Yeah.
And maybe even help map out personalized learning paths. So the system could dynamically change the sequence or the kind of content someone sees based on how they're doing, how engaged they are.
Wait, hang on. So it's not just spitting out text based on prompts. It could actually be involved in the design part, suggesting activities based on who the learner is.
That's precisely the idea. That's the agentic piece.
Yeah.
It's making reasoned decisions. It's collaborating based on the rules and the data it has, like those persona details. It really shifts the human designer's role. Less about building every single thing from the ground up and more about guiding the AI, refining the output, curating the experience, strategic oversight.
That vision, AI actively helping design training, it sounds powerful, but how did the researchers actually investigate this? What was their method? How did they gather the proof?
Good question. They didn't just rely on theory. They used a mixed methods approach, which gives a more rounded picture. So they looked at case studies, real organizations that are already, dipping their toes into using AI for training.
Okay, real world examples.
Exactly. Plus, they did expert interviews, talked to people who are deep in AI development and also people working in L&D. And on top of that, they did a survey, sent it out to L&D professionals specifically in the corporate IT world to get a broader sense of views and practices.
So talking to the people actually doing the work.
Right. Trainers, instructional designers, the AI specialists, getting insights from the ground level, people who are actually seeing this stuff emerge.
Okay, so they did all that work, case studies, interviews, surveys. What were the big takeaways? What did they actually find about the impact on efficiency and personalization?
The findings really underscore the potential. On efficiency, yeah, they found AI can significantly cut down training development time, like really slash it. By automating those tasks we mentioned, generating content drafts, creating assessment banks, setting up feedback mechanisms, it takes away some of the traditional bottlenecks. Think about how long it takes to write, say, 3 different versions of a module or dozens of quiz questions. AI can speed that up a lot.
Okay, so faster development. What about the personalization side?
That's the other big one they highlighted. Organizations using these AI-driven personas. They reported noticeably better learner engagement and better knowledge retention, too.
Why is that?
Well, it seems to come down to relevance. The AI helps tailor the content. So if the training feels like it's actually for you, addressing your specific needs, your role, your learning style, you're just more likely to engage with it.
And remember it better.
Exactly. That personalization seemed to be a real game changer in their findings. It makes the learning stick.
That kind of personalization, getting training that feels made for you, sounds fantastic. But let's be real, bringing in complex AI, it's probably not always easy. Did the paper talk about challenges? Any, potential drawbacks to this co-developer idea? I can't just be plug and play, right?
No, you're absolutely right. It's definitely not that simple. And they were clear about the hurdles. Data privacy is a big one.
Ah, yes, because you're using a learner data.
Precisely. You need that data to build the personas and tailor the content, so handling it ethically and securely is paramount. Then there's the whole issue of AI literacy.
Meaning the trainers and designers need to know how to use the AI.
Exactly. They need training themselves on how to work effectively with these tools, how to guide them, how to evaluate the output. It's a new skill set. And maybe most critically, ensuring the accuracy and quality of the AI-generated content. That needs constant human oversight. You can't just assume the AI got it right.
Right, got to have that human check. Okay, so we have the benefits efficiency, personalization, and we have the challenges, privacy, skills, accuracy. Given all that, what practical advice did the paper offer? What are the best practices they recommend for companies wanting to actually do this?
They laid out a few key recommendations. First, definitely invest in training your own L&D teams, your instructional designers, on AI integration. Build that literacy.
Makes sense.
Second, they advise actively using the AI for its strengths in adaptive learning. Don't just use it for, basic automation. Really lean into its ability to personalize pathways and content.
Get the most out of it.
Right. And third, and this is crucial, implement strong, ethical AI governance frameworks. That's how you tackle the privacy concerns, ensure fairness, and set up processes for quality control.
Okay, governance is key. Did they look beyond current practices? Did the paper suggest where research should go next in this area?
Yeah, they pointed to a couple of interesting future directions. One is digging deeper into the long-term effects. Like, does this AI-driven training actually lead to better job performance, better career growth down the line? We need more data on that.
A long view.
Exactly. And the other area was about integrating other emerging tech. How could things like, say, virtual reality or augmented reality work with these AI training systems?
Yeah.
Could that create even richer, more immersive learning?
VR and AR. Interesting. Okay, so let's bring it all back. What's the bottom line here for you, the listener? Why should someone care about this research, whether they're learning things themselves or working in L&D?
Well, I think the significance is that this paper provides some solid evidence that agentic AI, especially when paired with that thoughtful use of learner personas, isn't just science fiction. It offers a tangible way to address some really persistent problems in corporate training, making it faster to create, yes, but more importantly, making it far more personalized, more engaging, and hopefully more effective for the person actually doing the learning. The challenges are real, no doubt. They need careful management, ethical consideration. But the paper concludes, and I think the evidence leans this way, that the potential benefits for modern L&D are just too significant to ignore. AI is becoming, pretty essential.
Right. So the core idea for you listening is that this approach AI as a kind of co-developer focused on specific learner needs could make the training you encounter much quicker to get developed, feel way more relevant to you, and ultimately be more impactful.
Which really leaves us with a final thought to chew on, building on what the paper discussed. If AI really does get good at co-developing this deeply personalized training content and learning pathways, and we know from the paper that humans still need skills in AI literacy and ethical oversight, well, how does the fundamental role of the human instructional designer or trainer need to change? Does it shift even further away from just creating content?